We're going to start reading at the verse 10. It says, see, I have this day. Yes, sir.
See, I have set this day, set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to overthrow, to build and to plant.
How many things are mentioned there? I think if we count, we have 6 different things that's mentioned. The first 4 things are elements of destruction. It says we are to root out, pull down, destroy, and throw down, and then to build and to plant. You can't build or plant until you begin to tear, pour down, throw down, and destroy. Farmer can't plant a garden until he starts tearing up the ground. And you can't plant the words of the Most High until you begin to tear down the lies and deceit that's out here. You can't talk about the Sabbath day to our people throughout the world until you tear down Sunday and let them know this is not Yah's day. This day is not mentioned in the scriptures. This day is not ordained by the Most High. You can't exalt Yah and our people are praising someone else. You can't magnify his words if they're reading a book that's totally in opposition to everything that he's saying.
That's right.
And so unfortunately today I'm going to have to start pulling down, throwing down, destroying, and uprooting. We have to root out a few things. The world has came to believe that Yah is dead. And now we are living in a dispensation of grace. And in order to be saved and in order to reach the promised land, you now have to go through the created Son. And you can't keep his laws no more. Those laws are done away with. Those laws you can't live by. Those laws will take us away from the Creator. But according to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the 12th verse, most people don't realize that the whole duty of man is to fear Yah and keep his commandments. That's his whole duty. It says in the 12th verse,
Then said Yahweh unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I watch over my word to perform it. And the word of Yahweh came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a seething pot, and the face thereof is from the north. Then the Lord said unto me, Out of the north the evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land.
and that's what happened today. We have a lot of lies and deceit that came from the north. Christianity was not a spirituality that was set up by the Most High.
That's right.
Christianity, it was something set up by enemies. Christianity teaches us to go against the Most High. Everything in the New Testament is a total contradiction against the words of the Most High. Everything. The Most High says he's the only Savior. According to the New Testament, Christ is a Savior. The Almighty says that he is the only King. According to the New Testament, Christ is a King. According to the Holy Scriptures, the Most High says his Messiah is named David. According to the New Testament, the Messiah is Christ. According to the Holy Scriptures, we must keep Yah's commandments. According to the New Testament, the commandments are done away with. According to Yah, you can't eat a rat or a dog or anything that is an abomination. According to the New Testament, you can eat anything. According to the Most High, a woman can be a great person. She can be a princess. She can be a prophetess. She can be a judge. She can be a leader. And we had leaders that led our nation that were judges over Israel, such as Deborah. And we had prophetess such as Marian. But according to Christianity, it is a shame for a woman to even open her mouth in the church. It is said in 1 Corinthians 14:33, it begins to read and says that if a woman have any questions at all, let her ask her husband at home, because it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church. According to the New Testament, it's a shame for a man to have long hair. When the most holiest men in Israel were Nazarites. And when you took a vow of a Nazarite, you were not to cut your head. You were not to cut your locks until all the days of your vow were fulfilled. But according to the New Testament, it is a shame for a man to have long hair. So in essence, the New Testament contradicts everything that the Most High says. But right now we're going to deal with the form of worship. According to the Creator, he has witnesses that he sent out on this earth. And his witnesses have a job and responsibility to do. We can find that in the book of Isaiah, the 43rd chapter. According to Isaiah 43, verse 10.
Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant, whom I have chosen.
All right here the Creator lets us know that he has witnesses. He has servants that he himself personally chose.
That's right.
And he tells these witnesses, who are not the Jehovah Witnesses. The Almighty never had no people called Jehovah Witnesses. The Most High's name is not Jehovah, and his witnesses were not a group, a band of renegades that came out of all the other nations of the earth and formed the watchtower, and then later on began to call themselves by the name of Jehovah, but they are not witnessing anything that the one they called Jehovah said to witness. Jehovah told his witnesses to witness this. And if you walk up to a person that calls themselves a Jehovah Witness and ask them to witness this and ask them the name of their Lord and Savior, I guarantee you they will say Christ is the name of their Lord and Savior. Well, this is not what the Almighty told his witnesses to witness. If we start reading at the 10th verse again, it says,
Ye are my witnesses, saith Yahweh, and my servant, whom I have chosen.
Now he said, the servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know, and that ye may believe me, and that ye may understand that I am he. Before me there was no Elohim form, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am Yah, and besides me there is no Christ. Besides me there is no Savior. Now, if you're not witnessing this, your witnessing is in opposition against the Most High. If you're not teaching this, if you're not verifying this, if you're not testifying this, if you're not witnessing to this fact, you are in fact an enemy of the Most High. You're not only straddling the fence, you're on the other side. If you can't walk out this room and says, Yah is the only Savior, the only Elohim, and he left no room for us to have any doubt, did he? He said, before me there was no Elohim form, neither shall there be after me. I, even I, am Yah. and besides me there is no Savior. There's no other Savior. We want to call him a lie. The vast majority of the Israelites around the world teach that Christ is a Savior. Christ is a Son. Christ is another Redeemer, but they want to say that they're Israel. How can you call yourself an Israelite? How can you say you're a son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you have somebody else in your mind and your heart that you worship and serve and pray to and confess to and sing to and make a joyful noise to other than the Creator? You are his enemy. And it's our responsibility as your brother to show you the words of the true and living Elohim. This is what thus said Yah. You won't find this in the New Testament. If you read the New Testament, you will find that there's not one mumbling word where the Creator ever spoke to anyone at any time, period. I know you can find 3 quotations that says, a voice said to me. But the Most High never went around the world and told the people to tell them, go and tell the people what thus said the voice. He always told the people, go to my people and tell them what thus said Yah. Because he didn't want us confused, and he didn't want us to have any excuses whatsoever why we would be worshiping someone else other than himself. He didn't want to, I thought they were talking about him. They didn't tell me it was you, Yah. He said if he represents me, he gonna go to the people, he gonna tell the people what thus said Yah, not what thus said the voice. You have many voices speaking.